Does your family froth at the mouth instead of moan like a moose in a hula every time it's your night to cook? You've tried new pans, you've tried new appliances, but all your friends still stand outside the bathroom during your summer barbecue. Well, don't give up and don't give in. You can make your cooking go from oh to whoa with just one simple trick of cooking chemistry called the Maillard reaction. So have you ever heard of the Maillard reaction? Probably not. In just a few minutes I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you how it works and how you can use it to make your cooking be better. Tim Ferriss in the 4-Hour Chef says the Maillard reaction is arguably the most important flavor-producing transformation in cooking. If it's the most important flavor-producing transformation in cooking, then why haven't you heard of it? You actually have. You know what it is. When you walk into your house and you smell freshly baked bread, when you walk into your house and you smell some freshly baked cookies, when you have that nice smell and the aroma of the roast, you're experiencing the Maillard reaction. Maillard reaction, if you'll notice again with all of these examples, is there's the color brown, and that's one of the browning. Maillard reaction is one of the browning reactions that happens in cooking. The other is caramelization. They're different, but the Maillard reaction produces the most complex and intense flavors. And so it happens in all of these. It happens in most foods, actually. And whenever you grill, cook, roast, bake, or fry anything, you're generally trying to produce the Maillard reaction. So that's why you got all these nice, wonderful colors here. So these are some examples. It happens in almost every food that you cook. So it's not present whenever you boil, poach, or steam, or do any kind of that kind of cooking. So boiling and poaching and steaming, if you'll notice, are all reactions, are all cooking methods that are wet, where you use a lot of water and moisture. So Alton Brown said about the Maillard reaction in his book, I'm Just Here for the Food. He says that these dry methods of cooking are what produce the most intense flavors of any other method. That intensity is the Maillard reaction. So to control the Maillard reaction, you have the dryness and temperature. So if you've got a lot of moisture, it actually slows down the reaction, and if you have too much, it prevents it from happening altogether. And then if you have it, if you're cooking at a lower heat, then the temperature, or the reaction will happen at a slower rate, whereas if it's higher, it will happen at a higher rate. So to help you in cooking, you need to understand what it is, what's going on in your food. Nathan Myhrvold, author of Modernist Cuisine, said that it isn't the presence of the water itself that prevents the reaction, it's that the water consumes so much of the energy that is put into your pan or your cooking medium that prevents it from reaching the proper temperatures. So now I know you're thinking, Nathaniel, thanks to you, I know what the Maillard reaction is now. But how does it happen? Okay, so you have to have protein, sugar, and heat in the absence of water to create the Maillard reaction. Think about how that goes with those dry methods. Here's the baking example, okay? So we've got to have protein, we've got to have sugar, and we've got to have the high heat. Well, obviously the high heat is going to be in the oven. But the protein, where do we get the protein in bread and cookies? Well, the protein comes from the flour. And then you've got the sugar that you put in when you bake, and those react together, and there's not a whole lot of moisture going on. So obviously with meat, it is protein, and so there is enough sugar in there that it does cause a Maillard reaction to happen. This is all theory, so let's put it into practice. So here we were going to cook some steaks, and we've got our protein. Sugar's in there somewhere, you know, but we know that it's in there because the reaction happens. So the first thing is, I've made a lot of steak and a lot of other meats and stuff like that, and I've ended up with something like this. Okay, notice that it's that gray, nasty color, and it doesn't look very appetizing at all. You are not achieving the Maillard reaction. This was actually boiled, but this is a failure in attempt that I've done many times in producing something that tastes good. You know, it doesn't matter how long you cook it or how much effort you put into it. If you don't do it right, it doesn't work. So we applied some heat. We did a searing method, and during the cooking process, this is what you're looking for. Notice how the colors are more golden brown, they're dark brown versus that gray, grimy, ricky color. And when you get it right, that's what it looks like. Doesn't that make your mouth water? So this is what you're trying to achieve. This is the whole point of cooking, at least in this method, is to achieve that reaction. And that's why when you miss it, you miss the flavor. And that's what it looks like when you're done. So don't be afraid anymore. Apply some dry high heat to those proteins and some sugars, and make your family start to drool on their chins before they even eat your delicious food. And your family and their stomachs will thank you for it. Thank you.